Front and center at the grocery store, flour, sugar, nuts, and sprinkles. It's holiday baking season. Brandy Brown, the Legal Duchess, is here with a yummy pecan pie recipe. The secret ingredient, bacon. It sounds delicious, right? Okay, yes. So we're talking about, your husband is gluten intolerant, right?
Yes.
So you have to come up with some different ways to create these delicious holiday deliciousness. Let's just go with that.
Try to make sure he can still enjoy the holidays.
We want that, right? So this is a product here. Tell me a little bit about this.
So Wholly Wholesome, you can find it at the local Whole Foods, Fresh Market, and
Fresh Thyme, I think.
Fresh Thyme, yes, thank you. So it's a really great pre-baked product, so you don't have to try
That's the hardest part, right?
Yeah,
I feel
rolling
like the
out
crust.
a pie shell is no fun at all.
No.
So this just makes it a quick, easy process. You just fill the pie shell, bake it, and it's going to taste great, be gluten-free, and it's an organic, natural product, which is really great to just be able to grab that in the grocery store and then, you know, move on your holiday baking.
Yes.
It's a busy time of year.
It sure is. So, okay, we're going to maybe put all the ingredients together here, right? So we've got the pie shell.
Yep.
Now what?
So you would whisk 3 eggs together.
Okay, it's okay because we don't have a sink. So we would normally do 3 eggs.
Whisk 3 eggs, 2 tablespoons of butter, which is slightly melted or at least room temperature, because room temperature ingredients are always going to be easier to work with. So get that into our bowl.
You can do melted too, or?
You can do melted, Right. It'll work just fine as well. So we would whisk that up with the eggs, and then it's going to be 2 tablespoons of flour. Any flour will work. I used a gluten-free flour to make sure this is a fully gluten-free pie, since that's what my husband would prefer. So tap that out.
You don't want anybody getting sick?
No.
And there's a lot of allergies, and I think around the holidays too, those allergies can really, you know, we're cooking and baking all sorts of things, right? So we want to be careful of that.
So then our sweetener here is going to be a pure maple syrup, which is also another thing. It's easy to find really gluten-free option. So there's going to be a cup of maple syrup, and that's going to make it a really sweet,
It sure will. What's an interesting fun fact about pecan pies?
So a pecan pie is actually an American-only tradition. So in the 19th century, I believe it was Texas, is where the first recipes came out of. The pecan pie was born, and it's been a holiday favorite ever since. So it's a fully American thing.
Now, I'm not a good baker. You know, cooking and recipes is one thing, but baking is slightly different, I feel like, right?
You have to be really, really precise.
Yes, precision, right? So do you have any tips for folks who are like, I want to do it, I'm not very good at it?
So I think some great baking tips is first to invest in some quality bakeware. It's always going to help to have a really good cookie sheet, good mixing bowls. I personally love glass bowls. I think they bake are just easier to work with. Also,
and everything too.
Yeah, they just work better. Starting at the beginning of the holiday season, when you're going to be doing a lot of baking, I think it's really good to go through your pantry and clean out any expired items, so that when the holiday baking begins, you know
what you have, you know what you need, right?
Exactly. So I always, around Thanksgiving time, I go through my whole pantry and get rid of all of my expired products.
Good idea. I know I've probably got a ton.
If you don't use them,
and they're taking up space too,
you just forget.
Yeah.
And then our next thing is going to be pure vanilla. We're going to do 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Oops.
Delicious. We got a new one here. I can help you open that if you got it. Okay. And then we also have this recipe for you on our website. So if you're like, I can't write this down fast enough, head to WTLL.com. We'll have it for you there, and you can write it down.
And this is I think it's a great
really easy,
beginner recipe, because it is a really simple recipe.
Yes, beginner would be good for me.
So once this is all whipped up, we are going to, I can't get my butter out of there, get it, fold it in the pecans.
Now folding, that's another word that throws me off.
So you see I switched from my whisk to a spatula, so that's going to help you to fold in items. So I'm going to start by just slowly adding them in, making sure they get fully covered with the mixture. It's kind of just just like kind of a flip in there.
I mean, it's like you're folding. I get it.
Yep. Not quite like folding laundry, but
no, not quite. This is better.
Yes, this gets you pie at the end.
Yes, it sure does.
So you can see it's a fairly wet mixture, but it will harden up. As you can see, our completed pie is nice and hard. Before you put the mixture in, we do want to blind bake the pie crust for 10 minutes in a 350 oven.
So toss just the crust in there.
Yep,
Okay.
totally by itself.
Okay.
So then once we have this all mixed around.
And that's where I probably make mistakes. It's things like that.
It's all those little things that make baking, you know, you're probably still going to have a good product, but your pie crust might not be quite as flaky if you don't blind bake it. So get all of that out.
Makes sense, though.
Into our pie crust. It spreads out nice, fills it.
Look at that.
Fills it right up. And then the other thing you can do if you want to make it kind of a pretty holiday item, I have some halved pecans here.
That you can just
so
kind
as
of
you can
decorate.
see, I did kind of a decoration. So you can do whatever.
I could try.
Whatever floats your boat, and just kind of make it look like a pretty holiday item to put on your holiday table.
Look at that. And then you could put bacon in this if you want to, right?
You can, yeah. You can add, you can do a
gluten-free,
cayenne.
right?
Yes, it is. Bacon is definitely gluten-free, thank goodness. And if you do it with some cayenne, it'll kind of give it a kick and kind of counter the sweetness. I also like to use a pinch of salt across the top, which kind of also counters that sweetness a little bit.
Because it is a very sweet recipe.
Very sweet
pecan pie is definitely sweet. Okay, and then you have a blog. Can people find your updated blogs?
I do, yeah. It's the legalduchess.com, and ever since my husband became gluten-free, I've shared some of my recipes to try and help others out there that are trying to, you know, learn to be gluten-free.
She's done all the legwork for you.
Try to make it easier.
Know everything is going to be delicious, and then again, these products, you can find them locally here, Whole Foods, Fresh Time, Fresh Market.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you so much for coming today. Happy holidays. Thanks for making us pie.
You too.